Fuck it. Okay, I scripted this, but I don't care. I need to get a video out, and I don't have time to do anything else. All right, I don't have opinions. I don't have patch opinions on like every character. Let's see. Let's see what my opinions of. I'd say my tier list opinions. Which I don't necessarily. My priorities for characters are I want I want some degree, some competent degree of power level balance. I don't necessarily care that much about matchup balance. I'm fine with some matchups being heavily skewed, which they're really not going to be in this game, in a game that's like so system heavy. But I'm fine with some matchups just being dog water, as long as, like, the overall balance is kind of fine. Fuck it, you can play a secondary. This game is really easy to pick up new characters, so there's nothing stopping you from playing a secondary. Overall, I'm, like, considering characters that, like, are too rewarded for bullshit garbage, for, like, nothing bird shit, versus characters that are strong with, like, weak points or whatever, like, characters that are just overtuned, versus, on the weaker side of things, I'm looking at, characters who have less success rates, but also characters who are just more limiting in what they can do, which is kind of the same thing. And, also, like, character enjoyment. That I think, like, a thing that nobody talks about, except for certain characters like Lily, nobody talks about very much is what changes would you make a character fucking fun enough that people would want to play them in the reality of their gameplay. And so I think the super overtuned, fucked up, unfair characters that are like stupid, especially relative to the like bare minimum effort required to leverage their stupidity, would be Mai and Sagat. Mai and Sagat are the most bullshit. Mai more so than Sagat. Let's get into this. So Mai, her, like, charge fans are still really good. Overall, I would be fine with a character like Mai who's fast on the ground, has good footsies options, and, this fan shit and whatever, and even level 1, if just her overall damage output was lower. If her overall damage output was, like, one of the lowest in the game, like Jamie levels. Like, base Jamie levels. That would be totally a-okay with me. Other than that, her most overpowered... Okay, here's the thing, is that there are some characters in the game that are, like, not that bad, but I would consider them pretty unfun to play. Marisa is not fun to play. You get your, like, shitty anti-airs abused constantly, jumping in on shitty angles, etc. You're, like, really blocky and immobile, and you don't have, like, great buttons and tools to lever to, like, do much with that. Your toolkit is pretty limited. You have a couple good options, heavy punch is good, forward medium punch is good, whatever, but it's still, like, ugh. Lily, I don't think Lily is as boring as Marisa, but she's pretty, her game design is kind of weird. She has, like, 3 good buttons that you just use over and over again, and, kind of fucking, kind of boring. Lots of people have been saying this for years. I think and I've heard this from tons of players, from, like, casuals to whatever, despite how fucking overpowered Mai is, everyone I've heard from, and I agree with, Mai is legitimately fun to play. And she would be fun to play, and people would want to play her because she is fun to play, even if she was weak. Even if she was, like, mid-tier or lower. Even if her damage output was, like, significantly cut down in almost every regard. In her current state, she is just fun to play. She feels good to play. So, I am fine. In my theory, I'm like, overall damage output nerf significantly, maybe adjust a couple of things here and there, like maybe the corner carry on that, or something to do with that. Maybe make it so if you do this knockdown, it knocks them further away, and then you need a drive rush to get Oki afterwards. I don't know, something like that. You can do things like that. And, obviously nerf level 1 in some way. I want it so that her level 1 works like every other install. I want it so that until she uses all of her stocks, her super bar is locked and she cannot build more super gauge. That would be a significant nerf. I think it's a fair one. And the most, other than just her good footsies actions, okay, let me demonstrate something. So let's have like, Luke do crouch strong, back to back on block. So let's say he does, like, do nothing, and then, do this, recording on block. So let's say this. So we're gonna try to whiff punish his crouch strong. See that? You see that? Look at that shit. For the record, this is not how, like, any other character in the game works. Let me demonstrate the same thing with Ryu. Here. Yeah. Yeah, like about there. See that? If you're too slow on whiff punishing this incredibly fast recovering button from Luke, and this applies to a bunch of buttons function similar, almost the same as this Luke button, as you all probably know. 6-frame crouch strongs and all over the case. If you try to punish it with a low forward, and you're too slow, he can just mash another crouch medium punch, which again is still really hard to whiff punish itself, and it will auto whiff punish your whiff punish attempt. This applies to most whiff punish buttons in the game because of the hurtbox interactions. This does not apply to Mai's low forward. See there? At the tail end, where you can whiff punish these far-off buttons, if you do the same spacing with any other character, their low forward or any other good footsies button that they have gets clipped. See? Tail end of it, but it still gets clipped by the double mash. That does not apply to Mai's, and I think also Cammy's. Cammy's is also one of the really good ones. Yeah, like so. So there's no hurt box, the fat-ass hurt box on the toes like that. For Mai and Cammy. But Mai's is like the same distance, but it's 7 frames, so it's even faster. And it's just ridiculous. Like, her assortment of buttons are just absolutely absurd. The only thing she's missing is a far 5-framer, but that's a very small weakness most of the time. Anyway, so lower damage output, and the most probably nerf the crouching medium kick, at least to, like, fatten its hurt box to make it in line with everything else. Nerf it in some way. And, the most broken thing about Mai, in my opinion, which is very... people know this, but it's under-talked about. Crouch medium punch is, like, one of the most broken buttons in the game. Crouch medium punch is absolutely absurd. Look at the distance that it hits at. This far away... and then you can you can just poke in. Totally, it's safe on block. Even if you're at point blank, you're not in throw range. You're -3, but you're not in throw range. So they can't really do much about it. Counter hit confirm. Clean. Standing confirm. You get an insane combo. And any other time, you get a strong combo. No other character in the game has anything... the closest thing to this is, Kimberly. The closest thing to this is Kimberly has a really far confirm off of her counter hit crouch strong, but even this is, like, not the same thing. Like, the degree to which Mai can just shove in the distance that she can get counter hit confirms into full combos from a 6-framer or faster, no other character is even close to that. The distance that she can get it, she can just mash it through block strings, she can stab it in from whatever. It's busted. It's completely fucking busted. That needs to be nerfed significantly. I'm thinking, like, reduce its pushback on block. That should be a given. Reduce its pushback on block so it's riskier. And I think it should probably be, like, less plus. it doesn't need to be like +5 on normal hit. I think it should only counter hit confirming to itself, which requires you to be closer than this. That would make it more fucking, like, less insane. So both of those changes, fatten her crouching medium kick, reduce her, like, overall damage and reward off of things, at least by a little bit. Maybe if you don't want to tack on the damage too much, maybe you can do drive gauge or super gain in these instances. Make it so her fucking super locks out her super gain until she spends all of her stocks. And, that's it. That's a lot of nerfs. Again, unlike some other characters, I think Mai would be played and would be fun to play no matter how much you nerf her. I really think her core toolkit of really good footsies buttons, movement, the fans, everything, and level 1, like stand fierce, stand roundhouse, slow forward, crouch jab, etc. All of these things together. I play modern, so I have no opinion on medium punch. I don't have it. I don't use it. Yeah, you can nerf her severely. She will still be extremely strong, and people will still play her even if she was not. So, I think that's fine. On the other hand, I think Sagat fucking sucks in this game. Like, design-wise, I hate his design. I've not been shy about saying that. He's just the same character as everyone else, but just with better, bigger buttons. And it's so fucking boring. I think, unlike Mai, people only play Sagat because he's overpowered. I really think if you, like, nerfed him to be, like, low mid-tier, everyone would fucking drop him. But anyways, yeah, let's see, let's get into this. Medium punch, fuck you, die, kill yourself. Genuinely fuck off and die. Okay, here's the thing. I can show you, like, in my notes and shit. This is my, like, mathematical chart of generalizing. It's not totally complete, there's some areas. But anyways, we look at Sagat's, like, you know, numbers for reward on things like this. Drive reversal punish, second best in the game, second only to Mai. This gets a little bit iffy when you take into account grapplers have, like, a bigger proration between practical value and high damage value. Because they're, like, playing a match of the game. Okay, to oversimplify this, playing a match of a fighting game is not just about doing, like, the same combo is not always going to be optimal in the same situation, because you're not so much as playing to get an aggregate of everything, you're playing to set up a kill scenario. Is more thing. That's why people refer to it as win conditions, quote unquote win conditions. What are your win conditions? And the win conditions for grapplers are not quite the same as, you know, other characters who can only do throws if the opponent does nothing but block. So, win conditions are more variable for grapplers than they are for normal characters. So that's why my number for Sagat's drive reversal punish is higher than Zangief's, but Zangief's has a higher potential to get closer to his win conditions than Sagat's would necessarily be. It gets a little complicated. I'm doing a lot of, like, math and filling these out to, like, make these kinds of observations more measurable, more mathematically measurable. But the point is, his fucking drive reversal punish, his shit-ass, like, this fucking bullshit, man, it's so fucking stupid. So anyways, fuck this button. Nobody else has a 6-framer that's, like, +2. Like, look at Elena's stand medium kick, not even close, only +1, has more pushback. This, I think you should nerf it to be 7-frame startup, because I don't think he should be allowed to do it on drive reversal punish. But I don't, like, it's not my strongest priority. Again, because Mai is fun to play, even if she was significantly weaker, I do not struggle to identify where you can nerf her, but because Sagat is not fun to play unless he's overpowered, Like, if his buttons were bad and he lost neutral interactions and stuff, he would not be fucking fun to play. And people would be like, so at that point, if that was the change, I don't even know what his game plan would be, and thus how to buff or nerf him so that he is, I don't know, how the developers want him to be. The only thing that I know right now is that the developers want him to be fucked up. But I don't know how they want him to play outside of that. So, if he wasn't just gonna mash this over and over and over and over and over again, I don't know what they would want him to be. They clearly don't want him to be a fireball character, as fireballs fucking blow ass in this game. So I don't know, I don't know what they want him to be. But let's just say that they want him to be like a Footsie's characters with these, like, 2 good target combos, this really good forward light kick, some good buttons, a good crouch strong, etc. In that case, I would say, fine, nerf his reward. Nerf his corner carry at the very least. Nerf his, like, combo routes that give him huge corner carry. And nerf his mid-screen Oki, so, he has to drive rush. Or cut his combo short. Nerf this. Nerf his ability to do this into, like, medium punch or throw. You can nerf the... Now, you should nerf his stand medium punch no matter what. Either make it only +1, or make it 7-frame startup, or both. But I would like that to be nerfed. Even this. Even if you're not quite in throw range, I would like this to be nerfed. I would like to force him to do drive rush Oki. Nerf his drive rush as well. Nerf, like, the speed and distance that it goes at. I do not feel like this archetype of character should have this fucking drive rush. Nerf the pushback on this so he doesn't get throw after it. I said ever since Sagat came out that Sagat is just Honda if he was broken. Sagat has, like, the same movement and whatever limitations, and, like, he doesn't really walk in or, like, he just has, like, movement, some good specials, and then he just has, like, super high reward on hits and whatever, and you really just, like, you know, abuse drive gauge, but he's not, like, really good at walking up and throwing or mixing it, so you just take your guaranteed things, and then you just play neutral better and have high reward and stuff. But, like, Honda does not have this. Honda does not have this. So, you know, fuck off. Genuinely go fuck yourself. So far, ever since the game has come out, they have not nerfed the actual movement of any character's drive rush. They haven't nerfed the distance or speed that it moves at, or, like, the sliding effect coming out of drive rush. For any character, they should. They should nerf this drive rush. Nerf this fucking drive rush. Okay. I want to clarify something that a lot of people are like... A lot of people say that because low-tier characters are characters considered low-tier are capable of winning against high-tier characters, that the game is well-balanced. I don't think that's true. Like, obviously the player is the one playing the game, but I think the important thing to recognize is that just because the game is high damage and very systematized in the way that, like... In a sense where no character is without options to land hits to win. One, I don't think there's a super accurate measurement of how weak the low-tier characters are, because I don't think there's good examples of people who are very well-versed at fighting low-tier characters. You know, like, if a low-tier character is winning events, is like winning against better... Usually, almost always... There's a heavy influence of the fact that they don't study that matchup very much. But also, it's like, just because the game is very gambly and you can gamble and win, and the game is very high damage output and you can just land a couple hits and win, that's not the same thing as characters having similar power levels. That's just not the same thing. I think the overpowered characters in this game are so fucking fucked up. But because the game is designed the way it is, people think that they're not as fucked up as they are. No, Mai and Sagat are super fucked up right now. And then some of the weaker characters are, like, extremely limiting. But again, it's mostly player matchups. guessing and then swinging hits to land them, and that obfuscates, like, the comparisons of their scenarios and their strengths, and also, you know, the studying of matchups that you're actually losing to. Anyways, beyond that, the overtuned characters that should be nerfed are, like, Blanca, Terry, Bison, Ed, probably Kimberly, JP, Ryu. Ryu might also be a fucked up character. I don't know. Ryu's really fucked up. Ryu is arguably just, like, the same as Sagat. I don't know. He has arguably, like, better footsies. In some ways, he does have better buttons than Sagat. I'm more okay with Ryu's Drive Rush. And also, like, Ryu's reward is kind of similar to what I'm saying I would want for some Gots. Like, it's high damage, but low corner carry. But even then, Ryu's super fucked up. He has such a good array of special moves and buttons and footsies from different spacings. I think an understated degree of Ryu's fucked upness is, again, I can demonstrate with the same thing here, where it's like, try to whiff punish with, crouch strong. Look at that. So from the same distance that, like, a crouching medium kick would whiff, like here, maybe closer, as you can see, Ryu is in this scenario, but most characters are not in this scenario. Most characters with similar crouching medium punches, where at a distance where, like, most low forwards would whiff. As you can see, most characters, even their fast crouching medium punches, even Luke's, also have fat, lingering hurt boxes that also lose to this kind of okey-doke double mash crouch medium punch. Not Ryu's. Ryu's is one of the very few in the game that has actually a very shallow hurt box. So, if you're at about this spacing, this will whiff punish a lot of buttons. This will whiff punish low forwards, this will whiff punish a lot of heavies, etc. But you're basically taking no risk at this distance. Almost no risk. So, in terms of what I think should be nerfed for Ryu, it's kind of hard because, I don't know, I mean, all of his moves in isolation are not necessarily that overpowered. It's just the combination of them is really strong, and even his, like, huge damage output and, like, simplicity of his routing is not that overpowered if you just look at it compared to other characters. I think you should probably nerf his Stand Fierce as a footsies tool, nerf his Crouching Medium Punch, normalize, whatever. Personally, I would prefer if these, like, okey-doke fuck you mash, like, good at whiff punishing, but also very hard to whiff punish, but also mash them to auto whiff punish. All of these crouching medium punches like this, I would prefer if they were more like Luke's, where they have an immediate damage scaling on every hit. I would prefer if they were if they had the same nerf that Luke's got, and they were all, like, you know, weak starters that immediately scale your combo to, like, 70%. I would do that, like, basically universally across the cast. But I don't think they're gonna do that, so not including that, I would say nerf this. The thing about his, like, let's say with Hashigeki, right? So let's say he does this and then he goes into this. That's a frame trap. A lot of Ryu's, like, have been doing this a lot recently. Now, this is, like, guaranteed superable by, like... Well, sorry. No, it's not even. Wait, sorry, I'm thinking of Jury. I'm thinking of Jury's back heavy kick, which is, like, -6 on block. No, yeah, so he can just do this, and that's only -4, so you can't guarantee reversal through it. Yeah, okay. I actually forgot that. I forgot that this is only -4. Yeah, so that's even more fucked up. Nerf that, because that's been getting abused a lot, and that's really strong. In the way, because you can confer, you get, like, this meaty thing that's, like, not as slow and reactable with a perfect parry as forward heavy punch, and it, like, even if you're wrong, you get to just, like, spend your Hashigeki to get in there, and there's not much they can do except try to react to it and, like, perfect parry your DP. And even then, it's like, I would say, again, all of these tools in isolation are not that fucked up, but it's just, overall, he's super fucked up. Yeah, I mean, you know, nerf some of that. I think maybe you should probably nerf this combo route in the corner. I know they gave it to him. I think they should nerf it back or something. At least back to down to light DP. And that's not even a heavy nerf, but, like, that's kind of a super fucked up combo that you can do. That you can just do, like, meaty stand medium punch, or even not even meaty stand medium punch. You can just do medium punch and get this. No other character's getting that for free, man. For, like, no resources. So, I would say, nerf that. You could nerf that by nerfing stand medium punch, either in pushback so that you can't get back heavy punch off of it. I think that would be probably fair. That being said, yeah, that would probably be fair. So, pushback on medium punch, maybe make it -2 on block instead of -1. Nerf this in footsies, nerf this in footsies. And... fuck, anything else? I don't want to just nerf top-tier characters if... I mean, Ryu has a lot of tools he can already apply, and he's like a fun character to play because he has a bunch of tools. If I was going to give him an extra tool to play with, I would say buff his Denjin Hadouken. It's definitely the weakest aspect of his Denjin charge, is just throwing this out. It's like risk-reward propensity to, like, hit or go through another fireball is pretty low, especially since it doesn't beat EX fireballs, because it's not an EX itself. So, buff this. Maybe make it more similar to Akuma's new thing, where he can, like, throw it and has a bunch of hits and he can dash behind it. Make it, like, 4 hits. Fuck it. Is there anything else that should be nerfed with him to, like, make it fair? Maybe you could nerf his heavy DP Oki in mid-screen so that you can't just walk up for a throw. Maybe nerf the distance so that his anti-air gets a little weaker and make it so that he would have to drive rush like most characters have to off of a DP anti-air. And also make it so that if he wants Oki, he's got to do some other shit or prioritize corner carry. Those are like my thoughts. Those are my thoughts on this fucking guy. Now here's the thing. I'm talking about I want the game to be more fun, and I want balance changes that make him more fun and make characters more fun to play, and that's why I want Sagat nerfed into the ground, because he's not fun to play against, and if he wasn't strong, he would not be fun to play. But there are some characters where I'm like, I don't even want them to be strong, because I don't think they would be fun to play or fun to play against. So I'm like, at this point, I'm like, I don't even want Honda to be buffed. I don't fucking want him, man. But anyway, I won't have thoughts on everyone. I'm not like a... I study the game as thoroughly as I can, but I'm not like a thespian on every character. I don't have strong opinions about Alex or Ingrid's power level yet, or even how they should be played, and thus how to adjust them to match their idea of gameplay. I think Ingrid is probably worse designed right now than Alex is. Alex is very unique, and I don't really know how to feel about that yet, or how to feel about his power level, or what even should be adjusted for him, what should be weak or strong for him. Ingrid, I feel, is worse designed, but I don't know. I'm not going to imply any changes for these characters. Viper is, like, on the threshold where I think she's overtuned. I think if she was left alone and given another year in another version of the game with, like, a different character matchups, different characters being strong or weak or whatever, I think Viper's current toolkit in the game would probably be optimized to the point where she would be one of these overtuned characters like JP or Ryu or whatever. I think if, like, given another you know, several months or a year of optimization, similar to how, like, Ed was not considered strong right off the start until he was, like, you know, optimized in how to apply his toolkit, what decisions to make for him. I can't prove this, but I feel like Viper is in that range. But also, Viper has a lot of things that make her weaker than some of these other characters. Like, she has, like, you can train against many of these things and punish them. You can train against, like, you know, perfect parrying this follow-up and being, like, really consistent. You can train against being ready to anti-air, like, burn kicks or, like, fast burn kicks or whatever. There's a lot of things you can train against her, and her risk factor for fucking up something up is much higher than most of the cast. So, I don't know. Maybe she's good where she is. Maybe a little buff, a little nerf. I actually don't know. So, I'm not going to propose anything for her either. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to propose anything for her. I don't have a strong opinion. Elena! Here... Okay, so... I think... Let's see, what do I think? What do I think? I think this button should have a better hitbox down below. This button does not hit many crouching buttons, and as such, I think this should probably be her best go-to whiff punish button, but in many cases it's not. There's a lot of buttons that it just doesn't whiff punish very well, because its hitbox is so high in the air. Her best universal whiff punish, not in terms of reward, but just in terms of landing it, is low forward. But her low forward fucking sucks, because even on punish counter, you, like, can't go into anything off of it. Even on, like, and even if not including the target combo itself, it, like, doesn't fucking link into anything, man. You have to be, like, super close for it to link in anything, which you're not when you're whiff punishing. So, it fucking sucks, and it's cringe. I think that should be probably buffed. I don't know if it should have the same buff as... So the medium punch target combo is similar, only this forces stand on punish counter. So when you whiff punish, you will make them stand. Universally. From medium punch, that's not the case for low forward. Maybe make that universal for low forward, so if you see you're getting a whiff punish, you can ensure that you get a combo afterwards. That would be a pretty good buff. Here's another thing, is that she can whiff punish with crouch strong and go into this, or even just check a drive rush and, like, counter hit buffer into this. However, this also has a whack hitbox, where there's a lot of things that if it, again, this hitbox of this move, can easily fuck up. Let me demonstrate with punishing, like, not crouch medium punch, because it's, like, kind of hard to whiff punish, but... See? That whiffs right there. It wouldn't whiff if they were standing, but it whiffs right there. I don't know if they want her to have that huge reward off of that, from just going straight into this. It would be nice to have. I have a clearer idea, in my opinion, of how they want Elena to play. She has, like, really weak mid-screen Oki, because her mid-screen throw sucks. She literally goes backwards, and she doesn't get jack shit pressure off of it. So her throw fucking sucks ass. It's, like, one of the worst in the game. But it's not that bad in the... It's not that bad in the corner. Her corner pressure is way better, generally speaking. Her corner routes and combos are way better. And she has huge corner carry. Like, she is... Like, her combos being what they are makes sense, because she's, like, weak in mid-screen, but she does good damage and takes them to the corner really easily, and she's pretty good in the corner. Her anti-airs are not that good. She doesn't get very good pressure off of them. Because you've got, like, light TP gives you the best pressure, which generally speaking just gives you the double roll. I don't know if they want to leave roll pressure the way it is, or buff it in some way. They already buffed it, but one of the problems with roll pressure is that, one, you can just drive reversal a lot of these things, and a lot of people don't do that, even when they're at high drive gauge, but they should, because it's mathematically optimal to just get the pressure off of you when you have a guaranteed spot against a lot of characters. There's a lot of places where people just don't use Drive Rush when it's obviously mathematically optimal to do so. Or Drive Reversal. Sorry, did I say Drive Reversal? Anyways, but one of the other problems is that if they look for your roll pressure on Wake Up, and they see that you do the double roll, a lot of the times off of knockdowns in mid-screen, they can just see that, and there's no way for Elena to recover in time to block an EXDP. So they can just wait, see the roll, and then EXDP, or especially EX Flash Kick or something. Not a big problem. Nobody studies this matchup. Nobody really does that, but I don't know. It's like one of the things that's relevant. Mostly, I just think her footsie should be better. Historically, I feel like Elena as a character should have good footsies. Like, I don't know if that's a fucking radical opinion. I think spiritually, and what the character as a character should be, I do think that characters should reflect, like, their legacy in some way, how people imagine them to be. I think Elena should be better at footsies than she currently is. Right now, she's not that good at footsies. Her footsies options are not that good, because this is not as strong as you would think it is. This fucking sucks, because it's like, you have to YOLO your shit out every time. And other than that, this is okay, but it has weaknesses and whatever. This is also pretty decent, but not even that good compared to other characters. Like Mai's Roundhouse is better, even though it's slower. So anyways, yeah, etc. Terry. I also don't have... I think Terry should be significantly nerfed, but again, I struggle to determine how that should be. Terry is like the most all-rounder in the game for the Shoto cast. Like, he can very easily dynamically change his combos, depending on how much corner carry he needs. He has, like, huge reward off of a lot of stuff. He has, like, really high kill potential when he wants it. Yeah, and, he's really good in Burnout. He does pretty good drive gauge damage. His special moves are pretty good. Both of his fireballs are, like, really good. Burn Knuckle's really good. Yeah, it's kind of, you know... I think maybe you can nerf his Drive Rush. Again, I don't know, because he's so well-rounded, I don't know how they would nerf him. How they would want to nerf him, except just reduce his overall reward. Like, reduce his overall damage and, like, drive gauge gain, corner carry. Just reduce all, like, just shave off aspects of everything that he already does. Because I don't... Other than that, you would have to nerf him in ways where you make him weaker in some ways, where currently he's, like, strong at everything. So, I don't know in what ways they want him to be weak versus strong. I just don't know. So, I have no comments except for just nerf him in general. Bipson... Oh, I think this is pretty clear. Nerf Scissor Kick. Nerf fucking Scissor Kick. I think light Scissor Kick should be +1. +1 on hit, so you can't get a combo on counter hit, and on punish counter, you can only get stand jab. I think this is more than fair. His Scissor Kick is so fucking stupid. So yeah, +1 on light Scissor Kick. I am adamant about that. +1 on light Scissor Kick. I think that is like the most common sense nerf to do to his fucked up toolkit. I didn't mention Sagat's Drive Rush. Well, just nerfing Sagat's Drive Rush in general would make his Drive Rush into Tiger Nexus weaker. So I think Sagat should not have like the stupid fucking Drive Rush that he has in the first place. Bison is like more... The fucked up Drive Rush is more of a part of his main kit, and, like, all of his Oki and stuff, so whatever. Nerf fucking Scissor Kick. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know, man. I think nerfing Scissor Kick would just be fine. Like, that might be the only nerf you need. It would be significant, and, you know, whatever. Other than that... Because, like, I think his Bomb Oki should be good. I don't think his Bomb Oki is already too good in mid-screen. Maybe nerf his well, no. I was about to say nerf his burnout pressure, but this should comment. I should have clarified at the start of this. A universal change I want to the game is I want burnout to be weaker. I want burnout to not recover as fast. I want burnout to recover slower than normal drive gauge rather than faster than normal drive gauge. Right now, I forget the exact numbers, but it's like a certain 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's like 7 seconds to restore a 1 bar of drive gauge. In normal drive gauge, about there, and it's about 6 seconds when you're in burnout. You literally restore drive gauge faster in burnout, in addition to the fact that you gain it on block. In burnout, I think burnout you should recover slower. I think burnout is too kind. It's too light of a punishment right now in its current state, where currently it's pretty feast or famine. Like, Ed can literally burn himself out doing EX Blitz, do the whole, like, desync level 2 combo, and then almost be recovered from burnout by the time he comes out, while still controlling the corner. Burnout just is too light of a punishment and recovers too fast. Fuck you. Increase chip damage on every single source of chip damage in burnout, and make burnout last longer. This is by far and away my most requested change in the game, even though there's other changes that would affect more of it. Burnout should fucking kill you. Fuck you for burning out. Die. Fuck off. Die. In that sense, you would have to nerf some of the characters who do really good drive gauge damage, but I am adamant about this. Fuck you. Burnout should suck. It should not just be, like, one feast or famine defensive action away from, like, recovering and facing no consequences. Anyways, so, yeah, I don't know. Nerf Scissor Kick. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know what I would definitely change about him. Nerf Scissor Kick. That's fine. I'm fine with that. Akuma, I have, like, no strong opinions on. I don't give a fuck. Ed, again, I don't know. Not a thespian of this character. Nerf his Drive Rush. Same thing. I feel like, as a character archetype, maybe he should not have this super fucked up Drive Rush jab. If you're not gonna nerf his Drive Rush in general, at least nerf his Drive Rush jab, so he can't do this. Or this. Yeah, fuck you, nerf that. Yeah. Again, I think, that would be my primary thing. Nerf his fucking Drive Rush. Fuck you, die. In his footsies, this should probably get another nerf, because it's still, like, one of his best buttons. God, this move is good. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. That's fine with me. Aki, I'm not a student of, I couldn't say. And many of the ways that I would think to nerf her, I don't want to nerf her. Like, I don't really want to nerf her, like, you know, rich sort of combo route stuff. I also don't want to nerf her, like, footsies. I don't really want to nerf her Fireball or EX Fireball. I don't want to nerf her Light Serpent Lash. So, it's like, what the fuck? And I don't really want to nerf her Drive Rush either. I would nerf Forward Heavy Kick. I don't think she needs it. I'm fine with nerfing this quite significantly. Maybe change its function. Just make it weaker. I do think she probably should be nerfed. Mathematically, I should mention this. Mathematically, in theory, Aki is, like, the most potential woman character imaginable. Like, I understand that she doesn't have a reversal and that it makes her defense weak or whatever, but mathematically, Aki is, like, outputting some of the highest numbers of anyone in the cast for, like, pure value on interactions and hits and common scenarios. Yeah, there's no way for me to do the math in a way that's fair that doesn't result in her numbers being crazy. So, oh, here, I'm actually, okay, I did think of a nerf. While I was thinking about this video, I did think of a nerf. I am fine with nerfing it so she doesn't get this from far away. Make it so if she shimmies the opponent for a throw, she can get it. Or she's punishing a DP, she can get it. But make it so if she whiff punishes something from, like, further away like this, that, it's, like, too far away, the pushback is too great or something. Make it so she has to, like, go into this instead. So yeah. Nerf that when hit from far away. That's fine with me. And nerf this... Maybe nerf, I don't know what else what else I'm like good with nerfing for her. Cause like most of her other tools I think are about the strength that is good, that they're good tools. In an individual sense. Like, I think standing medium punch is good where it is. I think nerfing it would be too harsh. Stand medium kick, crouch roundhouse. If you're gonna nerf anything, maybe crouch roundhouse is a little too good. But again, this move is uniquely difficult to nerf because I want to nerf it as a footsies tool by making it maybe like 11 frame startup or something, or changing its reward on like punish counter maybe, because it's really good in footsies. But it's also an anti-air. It's also a vital, necessary anti-air for her, and slowing it down would hurt her in a much more like material, practical sense. So it is a hard button to nerf because it's so weird in its applications. But I do think maybe it's a little too good right now. Yeah. Yep, that's what I'm thinking. Buff something, maybe buff level 2 a little bit. I don't think it needs level 2. I think her level 2... Hikari is really insistent on, like, leveraging and using level 2 right now. He uses it all the time now. I think he's mostly, like, curious and investigating its potential as a move, but yeah, maybe do a slight, little buff to level 2, whatever. If, the only other thing that I would say that she's, like, overpowered, like a specifically overpowered tool that isn't part of her kit of, like, poison, is forward jump, down, heavy punch. This is a little silly in what it can do. In how it can shimmy people or lock people down from, like, a far-off jump. Or like, too close of a jump, but still force them to block. Or shimmy them, etc. This move, it's a little too good. Rashid, I have mixed feelings about. I also feel that Rashid is in a pretty good place. Overall, fuck, I genuinely don't know. I do feel like he's in a pretty good, fair-ish place, honestly. I can't really think of anything I want to nerf with him, and if I were gonna buff something, I would be increase the damage output a little bit of his EX Mixer. You already nerfed its, like... You already nerfed its, you know, Oki to be nothing, worse than most characters, and because it's so many hits, it's uniquely bad at most EXDPs. They hit as counter hit or punish counter because they're invincible, they're going through something. So most DPs actually hit for about like 1600 damage or more, 1650, but his, because it's so many hits and the only hit that increases damage is the first one, his EXDP is uniquely low damage, and has, like, no Oki. Worse Oki than most characters. So, I would say you can buff the damage a little bit. Make it, like, 1500 damage or whatever, and put more of that damage in the first hit. Other than that, medium kick is really good. His light punch into, like, drive rush cancel is, like, really good. Maybe too good, but again, I don't think it is. I think it's just good. I think he's just good at a good place. He's got a lot of fun tools. He doesn't have anything that's, like, super fucked up. Well, that's not true, but, you know. He's good! He's good! I don't know, I'm fine with him. He's good. I should have mentioned at the start that the characters that I think are, like, the best designed currently, that are, like, the benchmark that other characters should aspire to be in terms of overall balance and, like, fun balance and variety of playstyle and utility and stuff. I think Guile, I've said this before, I think Guile is the best designed character in the game, easily, bar none, not even fucking close, fuck every other character. So I think Guile's in a perfect state right now. Maybe give him some stupid fucking new tool. One thing that I've said for years is that I would like Guile to be able to do his launcher level 1 into regular level 1 to damage Splurge for a 2-bar combo. But other than that, that's like really the only thing that I feel, whatever. Maybe change something, I don't know. But that's really the only thing I'm feeling for him. So yeah, the characters that I think are in a good spot right now, maybe not necessarily at the right strength level, but are in a good design sense where they make the game fun to play. They are fun to play, and they make the interactions in the game interesting to play, interesting to observe, to study or analyze, etc. It's like Guile, Zangief, Dulcim, Rashid. Ed is too strong, but I think Ed is more fun than most of the other characters. Bison's boring as fuck. It's all just like Oki shit. Terry's boring as fuck. It's just like the basic toolkit, but just high reward on everything. Same with Sagat. Fuck Sagat. Mai is boring because she's overpowered. Again, I don't think her toolkit is necessarily that boring. It's just that, like, she's too fucked up. Elena's... if Elena had better footsies, she would be more fun, but currently, because of all her footsies buttons are kind of mediocre, she's in the same boat as Honda, where, like, she has some interesting stuff, but really you're just, like, fishing and trying to... throwing stuff out to hope that a high damage hit connects. And yeah, and then every other character... Ken, I think, has, like, a wider toolkit, even though he is also just, like, a button, fishing, drive rush, universal reward, etc. character. Cammy's at least more interesting because of dive kick, spin knuckle, and, and the fact that her DP doesn't give her Oki. I'm not saying... I don't want anti-airs to be weaker in this game, but that is an aspect that makes her... that makes Cammy matches less just, like, looping Oki, or just, like, every interaction goes into guessing than a lot of other characters. So, yeah. And again, I think JP is, like, a better designed character, despite his strength. I think you just nerf him, but, like, not too badly, and the game would be, like, fun, you know? What am I thinking? Nerf this button again, and nerf, this, make it more whiff punishable. So, nerf that, not too badly. Like, I'm more fine with this. Nerf this button to make it more whiff punishable. Maybe nerf something about, like, some corner situations. But other than that, I think JP is a character with more defined strengths and weaknesses than, like, Sagat, who has no weaknesses. You know... Mai, who has no weaknesses. Terry, who has no weaknesses. Let's see. A lot of characters, my main opinion is just like, I don't know, make a little adjustment, give them a new toy to play with, whatever. For Jury, I had notes on Jury. What were my thoughts on Jury? What were my thoughts on Jury? I don't fucking remember, man. Okay, Blanca... I think, as a character archetype, his footsies are just too good. He has a lot of buttons that are really good, but they're so unusual that they're hard to compare to anything else. His roundhouse is really good, but it's very odd and hard to compare to anything else. Same with his forward medium punch. Super fucked up, hard to compare to anything else. But I can look at, like, his lights, or especially his crouch medium punch, and say, that's fucked up, other characters don't have something that's this good. And I don't think Blanca should be, like, super amazing footsies anyways. So, yes, this button, way too good. It's hurtbox, it's range, everything about it is, like, too good. Did you know that this move is literally single hit confirmable? So yeah, do that. Nerf is level 2. Yeah, fucking nerf the shit out of his level 2. Drive gauge damage especially. I don't really know how to nerf it, just nerf it. I don't know how, just nerf it. Drive gauge damage, but other than that, I don't know how. Ken is probably a little weak relative to like what he could be or should be. I would say buff this so that it's not -5 on block, or make it made so that if the opponent's crouching, it's always punishable on block because it's always within 5-framer range on block and it's -5. So buff that to be like -4 and or hit crouchers from further away, so it doesn't whiff like this. So yeah. Preferably I would change both. Make it hit a little bit further on crouchers and make it only -4. -4 is still pretty bad. And I think that would be fair and a little interesting. I would say maybe nerf medium Jinrai, but buff him in some other ways. Buff his, like, corner combo routes. His corner combo routes are, like, not as strong as, like, you would think. Like, his EX Jinrai route, like, these routes are literally not optimal over just doing meterless routes. So, buff that. Buff the damage on his EX Jinrai. Buff the damage on EX Tatsu. This is a unique punish in certain situations. There are certain places where only EX Tatsu as a 9-framer can punish, because it's by far his furthest 9-frame action. Yeah. So do that. Buff the damage on this for, like, you know, kill combos like this. Buff his EX Jinrai damage so that it does more in the corner. Maybe change the scaling a little bit so that those combos are better in the corner. His corner damage is, like, much lower than you would... Like, his corner combo value is much lower than you would think it is. I know everyone's like, oh, Ken just gets you into the corner and then kills you. Ken is not, like, one of the strongest characters in the game right now. And, you know, maybe he should kill you in the corner. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Right now, literally, the optimal combos for Ken are usually just doing, like, button into run DP, and not like, the big corner carry routes, because the super low damage on run Tatsu is not actually often worth the corner, you know? Compared to just being pretty near to the corner, but getting, like, the much better guaranteed damage of that. And maybe that's how he should be, I don't know. Again, it's like, it's awkward when a character has, like, a bunch of combo routes that are all about equally good. Anyways. Do I have any thoughts on anyone else? I really didn't know what to do. Okay, other than reverting the change that made his hurtbox wider, his, like, universal hurtbox wider, that's stupid, fuck you, revert that back. Other than that, I don't know what to change with Zangief. Maybe make it so, like, his light kick cancels into, it, like, has a further special cancel, so you can do it into, like, regular lariat from a little closer. Honestly, I don't know. Yeah, so make it so you can whiff punish into regular lariat from, like, I don't know, here. That would be pretty cool, and in no way overpowered, because you wouldn't get Oki from this. He can kind of do it now, but again, at certain ranges, if he hits, like, an extended hurtbox, it's not gonna work. So, buff that so that it hits even when you whiff punish from a little further away. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, and then other than that, it's tough. I don't have strong opinions. Maybe buff one of these buttons. They're already good, but just buff them again. And yeah, fine. Who have I not talked about? DJ, I don't know what to do with. Not gonna... I have no opinion, don't know what to do with. Lily! Buff her wind DP in 2 ways. One, they gave her, like, these combos ages ago where she can do, like, on a standing opponent, light wind DP into that. It's fucking useless. Nobody has ever done this in a real match. Genuinely fucking completely useless. Dog shit, fuck you. it's insulting that they even added this in any way, and like, oh, a buffer combo. Fucking, it's such a niche position that requires you to have, like, such a specific interaction, and even then, it's not fucking optimal. It's not worth doing in the first place. It's bad. You're better off doing the Windspire. So, I want her from this to be able to get forward heavy punch. Juggle forward heavy punch. And in a similar sense, I want her, if she anti-airs with wind DP, from like a high angle, on a jump in, I want her to get forward heavy punch. The reason for this is because the value you get off of wind stock is very inconsistent. In that, if you do like wind stock into Windspire and it gets drive reversaled, it's like pretty good value, not like, but could be better. If you do Windspire and it just randomly hits, really good value. That's like some of the best value you can get. If you land a combo and you have no choice but to like spend it anyways, it gets extra corner carry, and if you get the corner from it, that's great. But generally speaking, not a huge value increase from the wind stock. And the weakest place by far is when you're forced to anti-air. The opponent jumps, you have to anti-air. If the opponent doesn't get counter hit, then doing crouch fierce would be weaker than a DP. You should DP anti-air. But if you DP anti-air, you're basically wasting your Windspire because you're not adding hardly any value to your DP. It just does like a little bit of damage, and you get basically the same Oki from it as you would a non-wind DP. It sucks. She should get higher value from the wind anti-air as opposed to the regular anti-air, because she has no choice but to spend the wind stock. She cannot do a regular DP. If she has wind, she has to spend it on a DP. There's no... So, I think the best solution to this is, again, buff, like, the light wind DP or whatever, so that when you hit it from far away on a normal combo, or you hit it like a high anti-air, it, like, juggles really well, and you get forward fucking... Fat forward fucking heavy punch. Forward fucking heavy punch. Juggle this fucking move. From it, that'd be pretty fucking sick, dude. Honestly, that's like the only change. Lily is not as weak as people are like whatevering. So, yeah, that would be pretty good. Do I have any other opinions on Lily? Maybe buff this a little bit. It's a fine poke, but it's so low reward. Maybe buff it in its, like, drive gauge reward on hit. A lot of other characters that have, like, just a good single poke, like, okay, Zangief's stand medium kick builds a lot more drive gauge on hit than this does, on hit or on block. This builds, like, a little bit, like, the same as, like, any other medium. So I'd like this to go into level 1 from further so that it's a better whiff punish. Right now, if you whiff punish from, like, here, like a crouching medium punch and go into level 1, it doesn't hit. So make this cancel into a super a little closer. Increase the drive gauge gain and drive gauge damage on punish counter from this move. Buff the wind, light DP, and I'm good on that. I would be good for that. Marisa. I think Marisa is like really awkward as a character in her toolkit. My main idea that I had while thinking about changes I would want to implement to the cast for Marisa was make it so that you can cancel the charging of a Gladius. So make it so that you can charge Gladius and then cancel. Either cancel into like nothing or cancel into stance. So you could do like this and then like cancel into stance, or you could do this into cancel, and then that would give her not like necessarily plus frames off of stuff, but diversify her both neutral tools and diversify her like, you know, it would divide, because then you could do this and then you could cancel into like stance, and then that would like counter a jump in to avoid getting jumped in on for this, or counter or like avoid getting whiff punished for it. Oh, and you could, like, do, like, this into whatever, into stance, and it wouldn't give you... You wouldn't be close enough or plus enough to be into, like, command throw, but, like, maybe if you're in the corner, you could do this into stance into command throw or something. So, but, you know, not guaranteed. I thought that that would be, like, a fun way to make her toolkit more interesting. Like, combine her elements and make all of her aspects more complete. And it would give her better mix tools as a grappler, because right now, if you're like, let's say +3, your only good options are doing this, which even then, if the opponent back jumps, it doesn't work, so... The problem is that against, like, when she's, like, plus, like this, her only options against back jump are just to lock them down, like, into that, because, she has really shitty anti-back jump options. So, it's like, back jump, so this, and then you can't really cover it with anything, you can't, like, punish them for going out of here. And if you do this, Marisa's whole kit is, like, filled with things that are very vulnerable to back jump. And then because if you do, like, a little walk back and then into that, and if it clips them or gets them delay jumping, you just get killed for this, because it just whiffs. And if you do, like, this into that, same situation, you can hold it and then maybe do, like, you can do this into holding a Gladius and then do it like that, but so this is a scenario. Like, I would want to do, like, back fierce, cover, like, the back dash and the back jump, and if you see them got air flipped out by a back jump, be able to cancel this Gladius into, like, nothing. Just cancel it out. I would like that. I would like that and think that that would provide, like, some fun options. Anyways, that was my idea for Marisa. One of my only creative ideas I had. Kimberly, I don't know. I feel like she's overpowered right now, but she does have, like, the, you know, no reversal, weak defense, whatever. She's really good in the neutral right now. I think you should probably nerf her Stand Fierce in the neutral a little bit. I know it was buffed, but it's kind of really good right now. Nerf her Stand Fierce in the neutral a little bit. Maybe nerf her Reward. Her drive gauge gain on a lot of her buttons and, like, combos and stuff is, like, really, really high. Maybe not nerf her, like, corner carry or routes, but nerf her drive gauge damage on some of these interactions. Roundhouse builds too much, I think, maybe. That builds too much. Some of these specials build a lot. And, what else? Oh, and in compensation, buff this so that it has, like, less pushback on block, or less pushback in general, on block and on hit, so it's a better pressure tool, and you can, like, link into it from further away. Because right now, it, like, doesn't link as far as, like, crouch light kick, crouch light punch. Or it's about the same distance. So make it, like, work from a little bit further away, and have, like, better pressure options on block afterwards. So buff that a little bit. That would be cool. I'd be fine with that. There's probably some other changes made to it. I don't know. Whatever. That's what I thought of. Yeah. Anyways, those are my main thoughts. For Mana, I think that there should be a value in doing the high metal hit grab. Because even at its best position, there's, like, no reason to not just take the Oki. But the Oki isn't, like, this special is in no way buffed by having metals. But, again, it's not worth it to do the level 5 hit grab because the metals don't buff the hit grab in a meaningful way. So, make the top tier, like, level 5 hit grab better in some way. Either, like, a significant extra chunk of damage or something, or maybe have, like, better carry or Oki. I think that would be fair. Make it worth doing, at least at, like, low combo scaling at sometimes. And, what else? Oh, a couple of her buttons I'd like to be buffed. I'd like this to be buffed to have, like, a less bad hurt box on whiff. She already has, like, buttons that are whiff punish tools that can be whiff punished. I think this should be, like, a little bit harder to whiff punish. Probably, I would like it if, her stand light punch was +5 instead of +4, so it could go straight into this on normal hit and go into medium punch on counter hit. I think that would be nice. And a big buff to her, like, close range defense and scramble situations. I think that would be fair, not overpowered, and really good. And, oh yeah! Make this... I thought of... Make this, like, a wake-up tool against normal throw. Like, make this so that it can counter meaty normal throws. Like, throw invuln on startup, and, like, barely... The problem is it's hard to balance, because if you were to do that, you would have to make it a few frames faster, but if this was a few frames faster, it would, like, be even better against fireballs, and it's already maybe fine against fireballs. Maybe you can buff it against fireball, but I was like thinking like, what if she had like an anti-throw move or something? I don't know. Because her reversal supers are like really bad. As a grappler, like Honda, all the other grapplers have better reversal supers. Lily's level 1, Honda's level 1, and Zangief's level 3 and 2 are like much better defensive tools than anything Mana has. And Mana has like a really slow backdash where she can't backdash and like punish throws in the corner because it's too slow. 25 frame backdash, so I would like it if she had an anti-throw something or other. Something, at least, that's better on defense against throws. And I would like it if this move was a little better. Like, less pushback on hit, so it was more likely to link into 7-framers on punish counter or 5-framers on whatever. I would like if this was buffed a little bit. Oh, yes, I would like this also to be +4, so that if it hits on punish counter, it can go into itself. If you're not close enough to get, like, a whatever other link, so that it has less... So that would combo there. That would keep it in line with a lot of other characters', you know, good, decent pokes. And this, for the record, is, like, her best whiff punish tool. But it's pretty low reward. A lot of the time. This is her... Because, like, this, you have to be standing, and it whiffs in a way, and it's, like, quite whiff punishable by, like, most other actions that the opponent would do. It's pretty good at whiff punishing, but it is vulnerable. Her light kick is really good, but you have to spend tons of resources on it. And her crouch strong, like I talked about, I would like it to be better. I would like it to be, like, a better fish for a whiff punish. Try to react to something, but not overcommit yourself, and thus... I would like this to have a better hurt box. And that's what I'm thinking of for Manal. Yep. Jamie, I'm not a thespian of, I don't have opinions on. I don't even know how strong he is right now. I really don't. And, Lily. So, wait, no, not Lily, Luke. Sorry, I was thinking of Honda, and then I was like, oh, Lily, no, Luke. What do I think of for Luke? Fuck, I don't even know. I had notes, but I forgot them. Oh, make this target combo better? Make it so you can, like, special cancel this on hit. So you can just do this into, like, whatever. They've already done that for Ed. They've already given, like, Ed's crouch heavy kick target combo, like, a huge combo afterwards. I don't see really much reason why they wouldn't give the same pleasure to this. It's already good, and Luke already has, like, an abnormally strong... like, reward off of drive rush cancels because of his good combo routes when done optimal. So yeah, buff this, make it special cancelable on hit. What else? Give him a better, like, drive reversal punish / shimmy punish, because, like, he can only do punish counter crouch strong right now, which, again, starts him with, like, the heavier damage scaling that most other characters don't have to suffer from. And he's not... And his best combo route is really just that, and then getting, like, a meaty, like, roundhouse from a forward dash afterwards. But this, even considering the good Oki, this is, like, a really weak drive reversal punish. And other than that, he would have to commit into doing this, which is a huge spend that, like, other characters don't have to do, so... So, yeah, buff this by... How would you buff this? What would you do here? I don't know. Make his stand medium punch better? Oh, that was another thing. I want his medium punch to be -2 on block instead of -3. So that if you drive rush it, you're +2 in throw range, but also so that it's a better footsies tool. And maybe have a little bit more pushback up. I would like this to be more usable as a footsies tool. And for that, it would have to be less negative and, like, less of a risk to throw out. And make the target combo a little better and thus worth confirming into. Those are my main thoughts for him. Yes, that's my opinion. Yep. Yeah, but anyways, fuck this game. They're not going to implement any good changes, and the game is not going to be interesting or have any interesting changes. Fuck everything. We're all going to die. Fuck this.